great to have you here. First of all, what's it like when you land in a city like London? Have you had a relationship with this place for a long time, or what does it kind of mean to you?
Well, I mean, I was born and raised here, so
Right.
I grew up in the New Forest near Salisbury, and so coming back home is a mixed experience, because on the one hand, I have all of these not deeply nostalgic memories of England back in the day, back in the 70s, and very much kind of BBC, all creatures great and small, cricket on the village lawn, the church bells kind of thing, and then coming back to contemporary London and England, it's obviously so different, and it's not my home anymore. So I think that the sense is just nostalgia.
Right.
A feeling for all of the history and the traditions, and you see in the buildings the etched in stone and the names and the generations before. And on the other hand, this hyper modern cosmopolitan world that's completely new and foreign to me. So it's sort of delightfully ambiguous.
What do you remember about the culture and the vibe and the feelings in like 70s and 80s? Like, what was Britain then?
I think the closest I can describe that would be a reference point for people is the sense that that entire generation of kids that came of age reading Harry Potter, and the watching of the first films and the coming to Hogwarts, that sense of coming to Hogwarts, that's what I kind of grew up with. I grew up with that sense of, lineage and tradition and something ancient. So, growing up in the New Forest, we would drive past Anne Boleyn's old manor house, and there was the tree in the forest where Prince Rufus, back in the Middle Ages, was shot by his own huntsman, in a sort of assassination attempt that was, written off as an accident. And, my brother went to the cathedral school in Salisbury and used to run on his cross-country team around Old Sarum Hill and Stonehenge. So that sense of just ancientness, I think, has always been in my bones. And then coming to America, which obviously feels so new, and so everything's just immediate. I think it was that sense of both history and just the kind of the bones of a place and the lineage of the people that really has led to a lot of my curiosity and learning, which was always sort of neuroanthropology. Very much like Yuval Harari and *Sapiens* and *Homo Deus*, or what's his bucket, Jared Diamond in *Guns, Germs, and Steel*. Like that sense of who are we? And where have we come from?
So having that history growing up in Britain, you might not have got that growing up in Phoenix. Maybe not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I grew up in San Diego, so, there really wasn't much history. I mean, the oldest building is 50, 60 years old, and maybe there's some monks that came up from the South, but there wasn't much. So when I walk around England, I'm so steeped in it. It just feels like part of me now.